Hello, welcome.
Hello.
This is the 59th episode, guys, of GuardianCast. We're gonna be
Yes,
a
indeed.
a two-man show today. Not too much on the agenda, but we'll try and branch out a little bit from Destiny. I have a couple ideas. But
Sounds good. I like it.
how was your week? What have you been up to?
Week's been good, man. Just hanging out. Ended up celebrating my wife and I's 12th anniversary of like dating and stuff and being together on Monday.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
congratulations. Yeah, I
Well,
saw that
thank
on
you.
Twitter.
Yeah, so yeah, we've been together for 12 years now and spent time with her on Monday and took her out to
Married
dinner
for
like
how long? Out of
we've
that.
been married for 9 years this year.
Wow,
We got
nice.
married Halloween 2010.
Oh, you're one of those people getting married on
Oh,
Halloween.
yeah.
Did
Dude,
you
our
guys
house, our house is literally decorated in Halloween decorations year round.
did you guys like what costumes did you guys wear?
Oh, we didn't wear
Oh,
costumes. Like
okay. So
we
you're
it
not
was
that
kind of a real.
crazy.
No, no. If I would have had my way, would have got married in a cemetery. But her mom
Oh
fought
my
us
God.
adamantly. So
I can
there's that.
imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was yeah, meh. So yeah, that was pretty much my week. I had streamed a bit, played some Destiny.
Still
Nothing
playing
crazy.
mostly Destiny?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I actually had to send my Xbox away because the
No.
HDMI ports
What are you using an
apparently
Xbox for?
Division 2. I was sent an Xbox from a community member. Yeah, an Xbox One X just randomly shows up on my door and with creepy text
Confirmed.
messages
Eddie has the
attached
best
to it.
community, guys.
It's pretty great. If you want to be a part of it, twitch.tv Eddie22.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, no, so I've been playing Division with community members and stuff, and just I was actually gonna play Halo recently to get into it, but then HDMI
Nice.
ports. Yeah, it was real fun. How's your
Yeah,
week been?
because I've already played them all, like I've
Mhm.
been like dying to play them, and I want to go back and play the campaigns, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it
Fair.
to be on PC. I'm not gonna because I know I'll ruin it for myself if I go back and play them on Xbox right now.
I can't blame you. I honestly, if you're gonna want to experience it fresh,
Yeah.
just fresh do it. Yeah, makes sense.
Um, I have been returning to Destiny this week, trying
Mhm.
to get back into it and achieve some of this stuff I've like kind of skipped out on over the past few months. Um, I really wanted a Jotun. I did 3 powerful frames. I still have one more to do this week and
Mhm.
haven't gotten it yet. I have almost finished my Izanagi's Burden. I did everything except for the Shattered Throne, which I can do this week, luckily. I think that's the
Okay.
last step, right?
Yeah, I think so. One of the last steps, at least. If you want help with that, I'm more than happy to help get through it.
Sweet. Yeah, so then I'll have that out of the way, and then it's, I don't know. Then I gotta finish Arbalist, I guess, to
Fair. Yeah.
just stay caught up on all of those exotics, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Are you doing the powerful frame at the last forge that was
Yeah,
released?
for Goose,
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, I know
'Cause,
it's the
yeah,
only
that's like
place.
exactly, yeah, and the best chances with the powerful frame. So as long as you're doing that, you just getting shit on by RNG. It sounds like.
Yeah, and like I was talking with some people and they're like, "Yeah, it took me 30 tries." I'm like, "Well, I'm not doing that." So,
I got mine on the first
a
one
lot of
at
people
that
say
forge
that
when it
too.
opened.
So, I
Yeah, I don't
I've
know.
decided 6 is a hard limit. That's where it's going to be. So,
It's fair.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not throwing balls for like 27 weeks. Speaking of like bad RNG, did you hear Riot from Tier 1 has done 100 last
He still doesn't
wishes
have it?
and still doesn't have it?
No,
A
dude.
hundred.
I was tempted to go into his chat and be like, "Hey, I was having the same luck as you, and I finally got it the week before
Don't
the
do it.
update."
He will
I'm
he
not
will
gonna do
think
it.
you're
No,
just
that's
trolling him because
oh, probably yeah.
he
That's fucked up, dude.
yeah, I mean even though
That
they buffed the drop
sucks.
rate, he still hasn't gotten it.
That's rough, dude. That's shitty.
Imagine
Poor Riot.
being world's like second or third or whatever they were.
Hmm.
Second. Yeah, they were world's second, right?
Yeah, I
And
think
they were
so.
in the first 24 hours. That's what it was.
Yeah,
And
and they
still
just
not
didn't get
having a
it. Fuck,
1K.
dude.
Ugh.
That sucks. And consistently running it every week.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That's terrible. That sucks, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Riot.
I can't imagine. I mean, that's literally the worst luck you could have.
Yeah,
That's pretty
for sure.
horrible. I thought my luck was bad, but that's a new
That's
level.
some
And
that's
I
some
almost feel
serious.
like there must be something wrong with like the game at that point, you know.
Something. Maybe he needs to do a scan and repair. I don't know, dude. Maybe he just completely needs to
Scan
uninstall,
and repair.
reinstall. I don't know,
It's
man.
his client. Like it doesn't have the
It
1K in
has to be. It has to be,
it.
dude. I mean, what else could it be?
Well, you know,
Must-
for a while I had like a theory. It really was feeling like people who didn't have that many hours in Destiny 2, if they went and did the
Mhm.
last wish, they had like a pretty good chance of getting a 1K. That's how it felt. I know that's like anecdotal. But then I was like, you know, I feel like Reese would have like a lot harder time getting it if that was the case, but he got it pretty
Yeah.
quick, so
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but that shitty RNG, dude. That's just terrible.
yeah. So they're making some changes. There's not
Yeah,
like a
they
whole
are.
lot in TWAB this week, but there's one
Nah, it's
really
pretty light.
meaty piece of changes here.
Yeah.
They are officially nerfing the Not Forgotten and the Luna's Howl.
Yep. Can we get some F's in chat for Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten, dude?
So they're changing them to 150s, but they're leaving them precision frame hand cannons, so that means they're still gonna fire in the stupid way that they fire, where you can't see what you're shooting at. But they'll
Yeah,
just
so it
fire
feels like
slower.
they're slower firing it, but they're leaving all the same behaviors, I think is what we worked out
Yes,
from
yeah.
what it's saying.
So it'll be like a slower rate of fire. The recoil animations and everything will be exactly the same. Obviously, the damage values will be adjusted to be equal to a 150, but then there's like another nerf in there that says that the Magnificent Howl perk is
Mm-hmm.
only going to affect body shots. So if you hit 2 headshots in a row, you got to shoot a body shot after that, which means like you can't even really use it to try and like chunk down supers or anything, you know, like
Yeah.
because a body shot, I mean, it might still be worth more than a headshot. I can't remember what a percent
Mm-hmm.
buff the Magnificent Howl is like
It's
66%.
significant. Yeah, but
So
it's
is
if
it more
they're
than a headshot to hit somebody in the body with that? It's gonna be like,
it's I think that's how it worked out,
yeah,
as it ends up being more significant to hit that last body than another headshot.
yeah. So I don't know. That's it doesn't really seem worth using at all.
No,
I could put that there.
I just recently got Luna's like what 2 weeks ago, and I'm not even really into trying to use it
And
anymore
here's the
because
worst part of that. Like, if all the base stats are staying the same, then Luna's is
Mhm.
really trash because it's going to be like
Oh
the
yeah,
worst range of any 150. It has
yeah. Unless they buff that range, it's
right.
it's garbage. It's straight up garbage and pointless.
Not Forgotten will be okay because I think it had
Mhm.
better range than 150s, but it's still kind of in a weird spot that I don't think is worth using. We'll see if like somebody can make a niche case out of it, but it's I don't know.
Ace of Spades will probably end up being the
It
serious
already
hand
was.
cannon.
Like
Well,
that's the
yeah, but I
fucking
mean, like
thing.
even so, like
Right.
even more so, like it's if these are pinnacle weapons, why do this to them? It's kind of silly. Like I understand they're running rampant in the Crucible. I'm getting, screwed by them all the time, but I can get around that. I can actually beat them.
I'll
I
try
don't know.
and play
It's
devil's advocate. Like I don't know really how I feel about this argument or the other side of the argument, but a lot of people say that it's not right for people who are already good at the Crucible to get another tool that makes them have a time to kill advantage over people who are bad. Like it's like an even more snowball effect, lopsided advantage that
Then work on skill-based matchmaking. If that's I feel like that would
the
have
the
been a
the
better
problem with
change.
that is though that there's no population to support that, right? Like
Fair,
especially in
yeah,
quick
it's not
play.
as yeah, true.
So, I mean, then you have to tell people like you're gonna have to deal with these horrible connections. Like, I mean, we've been there before. And actually, like a lot of people have
Fair.
been working under the assumption that they're secretly doing that again. I personally think the population of the Crucible is just dying down, and you're only finding enthusiasts willing to play it. That's why you're finding more skilled people right now, because you're not gonna find a casual player base in Destiny quick play because nothing has changed about it recently, unless it's just people
True.
knocking out their bounties or something. It doesn't really feel like a lot of people are playing PvP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say that's true because I feel like there's actually a lot less casuals in general in PvP anymore. Like I feel like every time I go into PvP, I'm going against at least somewhat sweaty people. There's very few times am I going against the bots anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting. The landscape of Destiny currently is very interesting.
Yeah. So that's another small change that's coming with Season of Opulence, right?
Hmm.
So says today we'll be going through some balance changes planned for Season of Opulence, but then they don't really do that. All they do is talk about these two guns and that's it.
Yeah, they didn't really talk much about any. They haven't said anything really about Season of Opulence, um,
So, but
at
like
all.
the big slap in the face with this is that 150 was already a 3-tap hand cannon. So by
Hmm.
giving it this magnificent howl perk, all it does is make it 2 headshots, 1 body shot um instead of being
Three
3
heads, more or less.
headshots.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't. I mean, it really doesn't change it too much, other than it just fires slower. I don't know. I feel like there's so much more things they could have focused on right now in Crucible than nerfing Not Forgotten and Luna's Howl. It just feels like a really odd placement of their time.
Yeah, like namely the biggest problem being supers are running like rampant and dominating the entire meta. I think that adjusting that should be a number one thing, but I don't know. They don't like doing that kind of stuff because I think there's like a whole casual base of people out there who think when they hit their super button they're supposed to be invincible or something, you know.
Which, I mean, to an extent, sure, you should be. Like, but when you're as invincible as some of the supers are right now, it's
You have to
it's
make a
ridiculous.
choice. Like either the
Yeah.
super can be like super resilient or it can be super lethal, but it can't be
Hmm.
both. I don't like this whole like run through the whole team, fly to the other side of the map, run through them
Yeah, I
again.
agree.
Like think
That
about
is
a
it's a bit
Sentinel
much.
Titan, you know, like it takes forever to
Mhm.
kill a Sentinel Titan. They can throw
Oh
the
yeah.
shield at you. It's impossible to miss the throwing shield. It just like
Oh yeah, the
automatically
tracking on that shit's stupid.
kills the whole team. You know, like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
there's 6 people in a hallway. I'll throw one shield, it'll ricochet off 20 walls and kill them
There's
all.
4 people in a hallway, and it's gonna still ricochet across the map and kill the other
Yeah.
2 people. It's
Dude,
ridiculous.
sometimes I see it coming, I jump over it, I'm like, ah, I got it. And then it'll like bounce behind me and come back. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it boomerangs
fuck
back to you.
you.
It's
Yeah. Like, I
ridiculous.
literally outsmarted this shield, you know?
Yeah, but this shield, for some reason, smarter than me. I don't know.
um, So yeah, I mean that's really it about the changes that are coming. They talk about some minor bug stuff and you know there's a ride along coming and they're making some adjustments to bounties to reduce the number of orbs of light so that people get guitar errored less. This is a funny thing.
Yeah.
Apparently Glad and like a couple other people who were trying to maximize the number of branches are pissed because of the
Hmm.
extra orbs that get generated during the revelry. It was
Yeah.
guitar erroring them in the Verdant Forest. So
Yes, it's basically blocking them from reaching their 1,000 branches
yeah.
because of that shit. Which, I mean, yeah, that sucks. I guess you could use your super more and try to pick up more orbs, but even then, you're having to constantly waste time doing that. So I don't know. That just suck. They need to figure out something with why that happens all the time. I realize it's a too much stuff in the area
Yep.
glitch basically, but even then, you think they should despawn some stuff a little bit quicker somehow. I
Mhm.
don't know.
So in other gaming news, I wanted to mention this actually a couple weeks ago, and I
Hmm.
was telling Huffy to check this out last night,
Okay.
because I think it's a really interesting thing. But there's this game called Bright Memory. It's in
Right
early
memory.
access on Steam. It's
Okay.
$6, and here's the crazy part. It's a
Hmm.
first-person shooter developed by one person.
Interesting.
So, a single developer has made this entire game in his spare time.
Oh shit.
And if you look at the footage for this game, I haven't played it, but if you like look on YouTube at some footage,
Hmm.
this game looks incredible. I mean, it's not like a PvP game or anything, but it's a story-based like boss fight 1v1 style shooter, and like the graphics and the UI and everything, I was just like mesmerized with how good it was. I'm like,
Hmm.
how can one person actually make this game themselves? It's pretty incredible.
I'm looking at some gameplay right now. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, and then he's making it available for $6, and apparently it's like gained enough traction that like I
Hmm.
think he's gonna get a grant to get some more people to help him finish the game because it is still in
Oh
early
hell yeah.
access. But that's
That's awesome.
that's amazing that somebody was able to
In his
pull that off.
spare time?
Yeah.
What kind of spare time does this man have?
Right. I mean, I'm
Jesus.
sure it took years, but still.
Oh, easy. Yeah, easily. I mean, that's fantastic. Holy crap. Somebody needs to hire this man.
Yeah, yeah. Bungie, hire this
Fuck
guy.
yeah, why not?
Hey, all he did, he downloaded Unreal Engine 4, and then
Hmm.
just in his spare time, uh,
Just casually taught himself Unreal Engine 4 and
yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't know if like it was his first time using Unreal Engine 4. I don't
Fair,
know what his
fair.
background is or anything like that. But yeah, this came out back in January for early access.
Jesus. That's
Um,
intense. That's pretty rad.
yeah, the art style it like reminds me of like Devil May Cry or something like that.
Kind of, yeah, I'll give you that. Definitely
And
monstery kind of
yep.
yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It has abilities like there's like dodge abilities and like rope slinging and all sorts of stuff that I was just like, how did he do that? But
Yeah. And if this one guy can do this, what the
why does it
fuck are the
take
other
Bungie
studios
like
doing?
multiple months to add a random roll of the Wise and Rebuke?
Because they're not using Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah,
Let's be
yeah,
honest.
that's
They're
true.
they're
That's
using some outdated, proprietary engine that
from
they decided
2010.
was a good idea. Yeah, so I think that's a lot of their problem.
True, true. So there's still no news on when the heck Halo MCC is coming to PC. They are still
Hmm.
trying to target the test flights for the end of this month. We're getting very, very close to the end of this month, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's less than a week away. Yeah.
Yeah, they have said, "Hey, we're doing our best. We think we'll still be able to finish it on target time." This is what they said last week, and get the
Hmm.
flights out by the end of this month. But it's possible it'll get pushed to the beginning of May.
Which is still, next week. So.
Yeah. Here's the good news: if you are somebody who's signed up on Halo Insider, then and you stream, you are going to be allowed to stream the test flights of this game. There's no
Very
NDA, there's
nice.
no nothing like that. So
That's a big deal. That's great.
yeah. Did you see the new Star Wars game is on Unreal instead of Frostbite? Oh, that's good
I didn't
because
even notice that. That's
I
great.
guess they wanted to avoid another Anthem debacle, you know, because
Probably, yeah.
they forced Anthem BioWare to use. That's the one thing EA did. Not that that's like the whole reason Anthem failed, but that's the one
Right.
thing EA did was tell them that they needed to use the Frostbite engine because it was cheaper. Um,
Thing
and
destroys your computer though. It's rough.
it just is a little bit outdated in comparison to Unreal Engine 4. So I guess that's
Fair.
probably good for the Star Wars community and like
I, this
respawn.
is this is their I think EA's last chance with a Star Wars game before they end up losing the license, from what I understand.
I mean, you'd think like how many
Yeah,
chances can
yeah,
one company get? But you know,
yeah.
I
True.
you never know though. It seems like their Disney is pretty being pretty easy on them. So
I forgot to figure they've got probably a lot of other fish to fry, and this is probably one of the littlest things. They're still making money off of it, so why wouldn't they?
hey, some last minute news here, guys. Apparently,
Hmm?
Twitch just tweeted out 37 minutes ago that if you add the emote bleed purple to any cheers that you use in a channel on Twitch, it automatically adds 10% to the cheer for free.
Oh, fantastic! All right,
That's
I'm
pretty
into it,
cool.
dude. Yeah.
Bleed purple
So
cheer mote.
go cheer your favorite Twitch streamers, will you?
Yeah, that's.
They say
I
how
love
long
how
it's gonna be
Twitch
going
does this
for.
promotional stuff all the time. It's
It's
pretty
great,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it actually is, helping us. It's crazy. They're actually kind of doing things for us. Who knew?
6 years into a 10-year deal with EA. Oh, okay. I'm sure that there's
Hmm.
got to be some sort of clause in there that allows them to pull out of that.
You would think at some point, yeah. Oh shit! Look at
Oh,
that.
damn. Hey, that's pretty cool. So yeah, we just had an example in chat. Thanks for that, Wits. Yeah,
Nice.
there's a little bonus 10 thing. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty rad, dude.
I dig it.
Good guy, Twitch. Proud of you.
Pog champ, guys. So, I don't have a whole lot to talk about this week. So if you guys have any like topics you want to bring up in chat, and we'll just kind of take questions and bounce off of anything you guys want to discuss. This is going to be like a little bit of a different
More
kind of
free-form
episode
episode.
because yeah, there's not a ton that happened this week. I'm excited for E3. I'm excited to
Hmm.
find out more about the new Xbox and the new PlayStation and Halo Infinite and stuff like that. But I've been
Yeah.
really following like the gaming news, and there hasn't been a ton this week. So
Also, no endgame spoilers in any sort of comment sections, whether it be Twitch or this when it goes live on your favorite place to find a podcast
yeah,
or YouTube. I will end you. This is a thing. Do you worried about Thanos? You'll worry about me, all right? Because I'm not going to be seeing this for a while because I have bad anxiety. I'm not going to a theater. Don't even start.
that's kind of funny. I've never seen an Avengers movie, so I haven't been in on
I
the hype on this one.
I don't know if I want to talk to you anymore.
I don't know, dude. I'm honestly just burnt on superhero movies. I've found like the last like superhero movie I really enjoyed was like the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, like Dark Knight stuff, and then like since then I've just been like, oh man, like here's like another Ant-Man and like something I've never heard of from
I mean, I can respect that. If like you haven't really been into
yeah.
superheroes or anything like that, like in your childhood, or it just never really piqued your interest, I can respect where you wouldn't really give two shits. So I can see that.
And for a while I was
Me,
into it. Like I watched the not original, but I watched the Tobey Maguire trilogy of Spider-Man movies. I thought that was pretty
those were
good.
terrible. All three of them. Well,
Well,
okay, the first one was okay.
three was
The
really bad, but like
three was really really bad.
three was really bad.
Yeah.
The first one I thought was good though. The second one I thought was decent.
Fair. That's fair. I grew up on comic books. I still read comic books to this day, and
But how
so
many
yeah,
times
the
has
Marvel.
they redone Spider-Man since then though? I feel like they've
Oh, too
redone
many
it like 20
times.
times.
They had at least well, they had the Andrew something
Mhm.
something. I forget his last name. They had his two movies where Sony had control of it, and we're like, okay, well, we fucked up. We can just might as well just hand this over to to Marvel. Currently, the latest iteration of Spider-Man, I think, is the best one we've had because it's very, very more accurate as far as like the comic books. He's a wisecracking kid. He's not super brooding.
Mm.
There's no super darkness to him. Like he's a kid
Mm.
coming, to age in a really fucked up, manner as far as being a superhero. I don't know. I really like how it is currently.
But so like that being said, I haven't been to the movies in a long time just cuz I feel like all right, my personal opinion is we're living in like the age of like amazingly written TV series and not movies right now. Like I think there's a
There.
lot of superhero movies coming out. They're basically like the westerns of the 21st century at the moment.
Hmm.
But what you don't see is a lot of like I don't know, classic style movies that are like super big box office hits, like, like Reservoir Dogs and like
Oh,
Gladiator and all that kind of
well
stuff.
written movies
Well
and
written
things
movies
that,
that people used to
yeah,
watch and like they don't exist anymore. So that
no, it's a lot of either big explosions, sappy dramas, or superhero movies.
yeah, the
That's
whole
pretty much it.
budget seems to get used on like just CGI and marketing, for
There's not even really any good comedies anymore. Like that's another place that's had a huge drought. Is there's just not good comedy movies anymore.
and that is true for like there is some funny TV series, but like most TV series that are try to go for comedy are terrible.
Yeah, ever since The Office ended, it's been kind of like downhill since then.
I think it's always been true that like you just forget about them. Like there's
Yeah, true.
always more terrible comedies than there is good ones, but you just forget about the bad ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's
especially
easier to gloss
sitcoms,
over those
man. I'm
ones.
so tired of people recycling sitcoms where they're just like laugh tracks and a bunch of jokes
Oh
that aren't
yeah.
funny. It's like, oh god, get the like George Lopez,
Oh yeah. No,
not a funny
he had a
show.
promising career, and then that show, dude,
not
it was
not a
so
funny
bad.
show there. So
No, it didn't reflect his stand up like at all either, which was really odd. It was like okay, we get it, you're Hispanic and all that, but like this doesn't reflect anything of your stand up and stuff like that. It was really odd, really weird.
you just gotta watch Christopher Nolan or David Fincher movies. Well, I've watched Christopher Nolan movies. I was just talking about the Batman series, and then I've seen Inception. I've seen what's the other one that he did?
He had some war one come out more recently.
I
I think it
haven't
was,
seen a
wasn't it?
recent one.
I
Inception
forgot
was a
what it was
while
called.
ago, so
Yeah,
and
there
that
was
was
one after Inception. It was like some war something something.
yeah, Inception was pretty good. But like I wouldn't want to watch movies like that all the time. Time travel and alternate
That shit
realities and
fucks you up,
stuff.
man.
Yeah. But yeah, Dunkirk. Haven't seen
That's what
Dunkirk.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
I never watched it. I didn't pique my interest. War movies don't really pique my interest.
It's a war movie.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting. Interesting. But Game of Thrones, guys, that's a thing. Oh,
I liked
please.
when
Here you're giving me shit
Dumbledore.
about not watching superhero movies. Don't watch
Dude, I
Game of
really loved
Thrones.
when Dumbledore showed up.
Dumble
Him and the DeLorean. That was great.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I
You're
don't I
like
don't watch
mixing
Game of
Back to
Thrones.
the Future and like Harry Potter and stuff like that.
That's yep.
That's not what Game of Thrones is.
That's my take on Game of Thrones, dude. Dinklebot and Harry Potter and shit. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I guess this is the time for me to admit that I have never seen an episode.
Oh my god. I think Game of Thrones is probably the most well written thing put on a screen in like the past 20
I
years.
don't have the attention span, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I've seen like clips and stuff. It's like I don't think I could sit here and watch this for more than like 10 minutes. Like it would be
Wow.
really rough.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't take a lot of focus. It's like a lot
Fair.
of like high action, like backstabbing and stuff like that. So
Eh,
it's
maybe I can be convinced at some point. We'll
Chad
see.
is revolting against you right now. I mean, they
It
are
did. It's a normal day, dude.
yeah.
Chat's always revolting against me. My chat, your chat, someone else's chat, and it just happens.
True snack. Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, sounds like Luke is going crazy upstairs. Sorry about that.
It's the gnomes. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So, you think Season of Opulence is gonna bring any major changes, or you think it'll be similar to what we got this season?
Since we know literally nothing about Season Opulence,
Yeah.
I can't say anything to that effect. I want to see, more interesting changes. I would like to see some more kind of figure it out type puzzle type shit, getting the community involved like they did with, Niobe Labs. That would be dope.
Except that went horribly wrong.
I said like
Yeah.
Niobe Labs, not Niobe Labs. Something, you know, maybe a little bit less convoluted and crazy would be nice. Something you can figure out in game and not have to go to Wikipedia or whatever crazy shit they ended up doing. You know, I would like to see a lot out of this. Will we see a lot out of this? No, maybe some teasers towards
It was
whatever.
Reddit raid secrets, right? That's where
Oh,
that's where
right,
they were
yeah.
figuring everything out.
Yeah, but I mean, they had to go like other places online to to source the stuff.
What's
so.
Josh Hamrick's favorite pair of toenail clippers? That's how we figure out the next clue.
Oh, yeah, no. So yeah, I would like to see a lot from this. Will I see a lot from this? No. If anything, it's gonna at least set up, hopefully, the new coming enemies. You know, the pyramid ships. I don't know, dude. I will reserve all expectation until I see anything. Other than that, with how they've handled the last two annual pass things, I'm gonna play it. I know that. Other than that, I don't know, man.
Witz wants to know, is Opulence redacted? It was formerly redacted.
Correct.
It's not redacted anymore.
Yeah, and they did it during the Vidoc for Season of the Drifter. They released that it was called the Season of Opulence.
Yeah, didn't they released like a YouTube video recently about the Drifter? It was kind of weird. Yeah. It was like out of nowhere. There was like this video about the Drifter and like where the story's going with that, and they had like the triangle people in there. They
were kind of hyping up that the
Season
the
of
Invitations of the Nine.
Oh, okay.
Well, the fact that the Invitations of the Nine are going to lead us into the Season of Opulence, and there's the story that connects the Drifter to the Nine to the pyramid ships will probably come to some sort of something in the Season of Opulence is what I got from it. They didn't directly say that, obviously, but in the thing they were talking about how the Drifter is related to the Emissary, which is, you know, kind of they have something going on with the Nine, clearly. So, and it's interesting to see where it's going to go. I don't know. I actually have to do my invitation this week. I haven't done it
yet. I haven't been keeping up on the invitations. I did the first one finally. But I haven't really understood, other than like for lore pieces, what the point of it is. Like, you get a cutscene sometimes. Most of the time it's just lore, though.
Well, it's not just lore. Sometimes there's there's been little pieces of a story that they're telling over the 9 weeks or whatever many weeks it was. Last week there was a little cutscene that was really, really interesting. I feel like anyone's seen it by now. The Drifter had a conversation with this Titan who ends up being the Emissary, because the Emissary was formerly a Guardian who gave herself to the Nine. It was really interesting, kind of heart-wrenching. It was kind of I guess they had a thing going. So it's interesting to see where this is all gonna go.
I feel like for somebody who has like spent so much time in the Destiny universe, I have not like researched a lot of like what is happening in the world.
Just put some Bife videos on in the background. Yeah. You'll get filled in real quick.
Maybe. I mean, I might get more confused than
You also might fall asleep too. That man's voice is fantastic. I love Nomad, but
good point.
And I never mind. I love Nomad's voice better. Just kidding. I can't even pretend like no, I really do love his voice more. Bife got nothing on Nomad. Come at me, Bife.
So my optimism for Season of Opulence is basically that if we believe the rumors to be true that they're going to sell us another annual pass for next year, then Opulence has to actually be good. Otherwise, they're going to have trouble selling an annual pass for next year.
To be fair, they did spend until a couple months ago when they let Vicarious Visions go.
Yeah.
They spent all that time up until then working on it, so it's possible it could be worth it. I don't know. I agree. It's gonna have to be packed with stuff to do, some story missions,
some new environments, please. I don't want to be going around the EDZ anymore and like doing
Open up more
public
of the
events.
Leviathan. Open up more of, the Last Wish area. Like, just open up more even. Like, even if it's, not giving us new locations but expanding on the ones we have, that's fantastic too. I mean, even like the Berguzia Forge, we didn't have that prior to vanilla Destiny because they actually expanded that area out. We couldn't get there before.
You know what's super weird right now? I don't know like how your follower list on Twitch has been looking recently, but like
Hmm.
all of the Destiny streamers that I follow and friends and stuff like that, usually there's like a trend where like when Destiny's popular, everyone's on Destiny. And in times like this, usually everyone is playing the same games, but we are in a weird, weird time right now where people are playing all these weird games and like a lot
Hmm.
of them are just like not like usually it's like close. It's like, oh, this one will be an RPG, or this one will be like a different kind of loot game, and this one will
Hmm.
like Monster Hunter and stuff like that. But right now, I'm like looking at what people are playing, and I'm just like, man, people are playing like real time strategy games and like
I've seen people like playing RuneScape and
yeah,
shit.
and
Like,
people
what
have
the
been
hell? Yeah, I
playing
don't.
like this new game like Forager or something. Huffy was going to talk about Forager today.
I've heard about
I
Forager. Yeah,
I don't really know anything about it.
same.
He
I've just
was
heard about it.
he he
Something like Minecrafty or something. I don't know.
he was gonna say that it was like, let me see, he messaged me last night that it was
Hmm.
this experiment thing that got put on a humble bundle. Yeah, that's what it was. New game that got put on humble bundle and kind of blew up because of that. And it's like one of those indie games like Stardew Valley. Yeah, so it's similar to Stardew Valley, which I've also been seeing
Okay.
people playing Stardew Valley. Those games are like new, and they make me feel like I'm like looking at like an old Game Boy Color or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, a lot of retro stuff is coming back. I mean, with the Borderlands hype, we saw a
mm,
lot of people starting to play Borderlands.
I
With
definitely did
this
that.
Master Chief collection, we see a lot of people playing, Halo
Yeah,
and
people
stuff.
are playing it on the Xbox. They're not even
Yeah,
waiting. I
yeah.
guess because
Like
just
Sarah Daniels, like she's been streaming a lot of Halo, and not much Destiny at all. It's very interesting
yeah, you
the
know, I
the
tweeted
the
at her like I
climate.
don't know her very well, but she
Mhm.
did you see the other day she was having like computer issues like
I remember going to her chat and her talking about it, but I don't remember
so
seeing it on Twitter.
yesterday she tweeted out that she was having like a hard drive issue or something. She like got a new SSD and cloned her hard drive, and then it caused Windows issues, so she did a fresh install of Windows and like reinstalled all her stuff, and now it won't boot or something like that. And I just like made
What?
a joke. I was like, well, I guess you got to build a new PC, you know. And
She just built one.
I know. But she was, and then it felt like she got mad. She's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna throw away my $2,000 PC." I'm like, "Yeah, they make
I
new
think she
ones
was
every
probably just
day."
frustrated.
That's what I
She was
said.
probably just as
I was
frustrated as
like, "They
looking
make
for
new
help.
ones every day," and she was like, "All right, you could PayPal me the money then." I was like, "All right,
Yeah, she was probably
Jesus
just
Christ."
frustrated. She gets a little catty. I appreciate it.
I was like, I don't. I was just trying to provide some comic relief from, what seemed like a
Yeah.
frustrating situation to me.
Nah,
But
sadly, all sometimes it doesn't always come across that way. Especially on social media and stuff like that. You never really know who's being a dick or who's trying to be funny or helpful.
yeah, well, I mean, I feel like people who are trying to be trolls are it should be a lot more obvious.
True, true.
Pouring fire
Nah,
on the salt. I think that that sounds
that's probably a
accurate
good.
there. It's
Yeah.
that's definitely the expression. That's the only way I've ever heard it. So exciting. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about something
Yeah.
like in a semi like not toxic way, but I just want to put this out there to the community because it's like an anomaly that I don't understand. So
Hmm.
let me put it this way. Guardian Cast over like the past month has been trending up, and like there's been like some really like encouraging growth right up into the point when I gave a free game away. I gave
Hmm.
away Metro Exodus the 1 week, and that was like our lowest listened, viewed episode in like months, and then like last week's went back up to like where we were before that. So I'm just curious, like, do you guys not like free games? Is that
I think maybe
where
it
we're
could have
at?
been the way that we gave it away. It maybe did not encourage people to listen because it was going to be a one and done as soon as the first person listened to it.
Yeah. Well,
It could
maybe
have
if
been
they
that.
were interested in it, that's the chance you gotta take, is like
True,
the
true.
first person interested in it. I think
Yeah, Val
people
just
just
doesn't
don't
like
like
anything, I
games.
think.
I think that's what it
It's
is.
possible. Yeah. They just like hearing us talk about games.
Yeah.
They don't like games themselves.
Yeah.
I
They like
appreciate
hearing
that.
us
So.
complain about games. That's what they really come
Oh,
here
see,
for.
that's what it is. Yeah, we
So
do complain. It's true.
so if you don't like games, like I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to apologize formally before the
But we
court.
love you. Thank you for listening to us
Yeah.
and being a part of our communities. You're beautiful, and you're pretty, and your hair looks nice today.
Yeah.
So.
So what we're gonna have to put a poll out and find out if people are more interested in the emblem code you have, you know,
Okay.
and see what people give away the 1080 Ti, dude. I bet you if I gave away the 1080 Ti, then like YouTube would delete it from
Probably.
YouTube. They'd be
Yeah.
like, nobody's interested in this. Just take this content back, dude.
Yeah. True.
I'll give you guys a code to install a 2080 Ti on your computer.
Yeah. But only the first person who hears it can have it. So.
I don't know, man. That's I wanted to say something else, but now I can't really think of much. This is a weird week.
Yeah, it's a very kind of light, kind of random week this week, guys, and we appreciate you being here and listening.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of just random shit, and I hope you let us know if you like this random kind of one-off nonsense podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully with E3 coming up and stuff, we will have more like news and leaks and stuff to talk about soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a huge lull right now as far as any sort of news gaming
Not
wise.
even just a Destiny lull. It's like a weird
Yeah, it's just a
spot
lull.
where I'm not
Yeah.
hearing much about anything anymore.
Then again, before every E3 and stuff like that, a lot of companies hold back a lot of information and news and stuff like that to just kind of bombard us then, you know. So, yeah, could be that.
More boobs. We can accomplish that, Val.
I've got enough here, dude. What are you talking about?
We need more.
I thought I was enough for you, Val.
Yeah.
God.
See, the PS5 allegedly has a new SSD that's faster than anything currently available. I did see that. And I am excited at the prospect that basically it's going to make games developed better. I mean, they were talking about, I think I brought this up last week, but
I think so.
they were talking about how like Spider-Man, they couldn't make his web slinging abilities too fast because they couldn't load in the city fast enough in front of them. So
Makes
the
sense.
new SSDs in consoles, if all consoles are going to be developed with SSDs in mind, then even PC games that are cross-platform on consoles are going to have more technological capability because they'll be able to load environments faster. I'm excited
Which
about
is
that.
great. Yeah, I mean, I think anything consoles have been holding back game development, if anything, because
Yeah.
they're so outdated compared to PC games, and where they're developing them on computers and stuff like that. You kind of have to backpedal
My only
just to make it work
question
on consoles.
is, are they going to be able to keep the price point of these consoles under $500?
We asked the same thing when they announced the PS4 and the Xbox One X. They did.
Yeah.
They kept them
Yeah,
comparable.
but the One X. All right, I don't remember the PS4 launch, but the One X, I know. Once I heard about the graphics card, I was like, okay. But then once I heard about the CPU, I was like, oh, that's where they went cheap on this, But with this, I'm looking at it going 8-core, 16-thread processor, SSD, good Navi graphics card from AMD. Like, how are they going to keep the price point on this down? There's no drawbacks.
Look at PC parts. PC parts are currently getting cheaper, right? So
Not that cheap.
It only make
Look,
well, no, right, not that cheap.
We're
but
talking about
still,
we're talking about a release next year, right? So let's just think
Exactly,
about this
yeah.
for a second. Most 8-core, 16-thread processors are around $300 to $400.
Mhm.
So that's just one piece. Then you got to talk about the
Mhm.
GPU. I mean, we're probably talking about a mid-tier GPU, which you're looking at like maybe another 300 $400. I mean, I know they're making this stuff in bulk, but then you're talking about an SSD that's going to be at least $100.
Mhm.
And then like all of the other components, the power supply and all that stuff, which I'm sure they'll go as cheap as they possibly can. But just how do you
But if they're
keep all
also
that under 500?
propriet their proprietary manufacturing and getting them themselves in bulk and stuff like that, it would make sense that they are able to keep their cost cheap and still keep it comparable. I would assume that's how it's always been, right? Like, it's never been, they go at market price for all of these things and sell it to us at market price. So
Well, I think
I don't know.
Snack is hitting the nail on the head with them taking a loss, but they always take a loss on console sales when they first come out. I just don't know how much of a loss they can afford to take, because I'm like,
I'd
based
say
on the
if
math in
anything,
my
might be
head, I'm
$100 more.
thinking that there's going to be a $200-300 margin of loss here, which is hard for a company to absorb. But if they put it over $500, I guarantee they won't sell. Just forget it.
Yeah, it's possible. Who knows?
But I'll definitely be picking up some new consoles. I bet you I'll
Of
be
course you are, 2080 boy.
yeah, well, I'll trade in my old ones, you know what I mean? I don't
Fair. Oh
know.
yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm
Oh, especially with PS5 having backwards
yeah,
compatibility. What would
exactly.
be the point of having a PS4 anymore?
And I don't know if there's going to be any point to me having an Xbox anymore, with that being said.
True.
Unless Xbox is going to be getting some exclusives or something like that. So I'll probably just trade in my
Which
Xbox One X and my PS4 for whatever the new
the entire
PS5 is.
lifespan of Xbox One so far, they've had dick for exclusives. Holy shit.
Yeah. The only thing I've used my Xbox for is for games that are not on PC, that are on Xbox
Hmm.
and PlayStation. It just plays better on the Xbox. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like not really a great reason to have it, but
Yeah,
you
true.
know, the new Xbox for 500 plus if the specs are where they need to be. Yeah, but wits like if you have a PC and all of the games are going to be on PC going forward, what's the point?
Yeah, you better be better off putting that $500 into your PC to upgrade whatever you may need to
Yeah.
at that point.
Achievements. Oh, get out of here with
Oh,
achievements,
okay,
dude.
you're banned, dude. Get out. Oh, I need my achievements. My gamer score, though. This
Halo
guy.
Infinite's launching with the new Xbox. It'll be on PC. Yeah, it'll be on PC for sure. They've said that, and that game, man, what an expensive game. $500 million.
Puts Destiny to shame, doesn't it? Or
I
close
don't know
to.
how much they've spent on Destiny throughout the lifespan, but like pre-launch, they definitely didn't spend $500 million. Maybe if you include marketing and stuff, but this is gonna
Fair.
be ridiculous.
Be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah, I don't want to drag this out any longer. Sorry
You
that
have
it's been
fluffed
a
enough,
short
dude.
week, guys. But we figured we'd get you the news about the Not Forgotten in the Lunas and just kind of talk about some side topics. Weird week, but hopefully next week we'll have more to talk about. This has been 59. We'll be on 60 next week, and then before you know it, we'll be on episode 69. Do you know if we're still on track to do that in GuardianCon?
I'll have to do the math, but I think we're pretty close to actually still being 69. Is if we keep it up every week, even if we do these light episodes,
Yeah.
we should have 69 at GuardianCon, and we'll do some fun shit.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
have some special guests. Who knows? Who knows, dude?
thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see you all next week. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.